Hello, everyone. We are live with Peter, my friend. Uh, so today is going to be about System Initiative, a new DevOps project, which has a quite novel approach to DevOps. It's a visual tool and does all kinds of things. And with Peter, I think Oh, I'm just hearing my own voice. Yes, not anymore. All right. So we are here with Peter, my friend, and we were chatting like a couple of weeks ago, and we were both very interested about this tool. And so let me introduce Peter first, and maybe you can talk about yourself a bit, and then your interest in this project, and then let's figure out what we're gonna do today. Okay?
All right. Thanks, Laszlo. So thanks for having me today. And it's first time for me is this kind of like online stream format. So we'll see how we're gonna make it. But just a couple of words about me. So I'm working as some sort of like cloud native architect at this point. I was introduced to Kubernetes, and then after everything that is like around cloud native, like 6 years ago, which is I think it's a long time then. And I was also became like familiar with the whole like DevOps movement, and not like just the tooling part of like Docker and the CI/CD stuff and infrastructure as code. This all part of the DevOps stuff, but also like the cultural movement. I don't know if you know who like John Willis is. He's one of the co-authors of the book, The DevOps Handbook, and a very famous person in the DevOps community. As an incident, I found an online course with him called The Introduction to DevOps. Unfortunately, it's since then taken down, but I saw that like 5 years ago, and it was a very weird course because it did not talk about tooling at all. It just talk about the cultural part of like how you want to implement it in your own company, and I talked a lot about the history, and not just like DevOps history in a sense that which is also part of this. I'm going to just talk about this, but like very old history of which is basically the lean movement. So like Toyota production system, and like how I don't know, back in the probably 70s or 80s, like Toyota pushed down all the big car companies in the US, and like why that happened, and who were the great figures of this lean movement. And basically what he told is just all of the DevOps stuff is just like this kind of lean movement, but in the IT perspective. So so you used to talk about like this term DevOps is not the most fortunate one, because people just tend to, I don't know, think about that. Okay, Dev and Ops working together. That's it. I'm done. They're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
That must be okay then. But yeah, then he talks a lot about that. This kind of like very deep cultural thinking of like how do you approach things, and how do you learn continuously and to be better at your job. And that's these tools are kind of the manifestation. Now, why is that important? Because when you come back to the tooling, obviously like the DevOps movement has a couple of historic tools, and that's also goes back to the infrastructure as code part of the whole history. And so people tend to think about the first, like the proto tool in this world is CF Engine. Have you tried CF Engine?
I just heard and I read some tweets about it, and every time we come up with a new term or GitOps or whatever, somebody comes in and says CF Engine, and then everything that comes after is sort of doesn't matter anymore, because CF Engine did this 20 years ago. So what's the fuzz? Tell me about it, because I have no clue what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't used it at all, okay. Because it's just like, it's like, before my time, I should say. So that is, I think, early 2000 was invented by, I think, a guy from Norway called Mark Burgess. Hopefully I pronounce his name good. And he was working on a university, and just like, I think in Oslo, and, figured out that how to build this kind of like codes that will just configure the servers in the university, and that he called, I think, CF Engine. And later they productized it, and bear the company on this. And I think Amazon was one of the, in early like 2005, when the whole Amazon, I mean, AWS started to grow, maybe not as a public service, but as an internal service, and they worked a lot together. So that's obviously a very good experience. But what happened is, usually with this kind of tooling is that, okay, CF Engine works this way, and then some guy comes and says that I can do a better one, and that better thing was Puppet. Have you used Puppet?
Okay. I think I did Chef, and we're gonna get to Chef. I'm sure of that. So I used Chef. I never used Puppet, and then I went to Ansible, and then YAML, and then
Because
but please continue, because it's good. Yeah.
That's the next part of the evolution. So Puppet then became, as I've heard, because again, that's mid 2000s. I just started the university in like 2006, so obviously I didn't deal with these tools. But the story goes is that Puppet was really good, but there was a guy who will be very important today called Adam Jacob, who became a little bit frustrated with Puppet, so he built a new tool called Chef.
Okay.
And then why is it important? Because Adam Jacob is the founder of System Initiative. So his ideas, his like basically his 30 experiences in this tool. So this is probably why I also think it should be like very interesting, because again, this tool was made by the guy who made Chef. So that's that's probably the reason why I started to just look into it. But the story,
No, sorry. And the fact that he did Chef, he exited, he was, I don't know, I guess he was like recollecting himself, and then he did another take on DevOps and how this configuration management should be done. And it's a very different take, because it involves a UI, and so all I did was just looked at their site and then watched the video, and seemingly this tool, not just, you just reference some random string like an AMI ID or something, but it looks it up as well. And it's not like a static state file with Terraform, and but more like a more dynamic kind of approach. So supposedly this is going to change a lot of things. Most likely this is early days, and but we just definitely want to just see what's going on. That's my take on it. But have you tried the tool, or how far you are? Or?
I went through the tutorial, so that's all my knowledge. The tool, I guess, at this point is quite early, I should say, in a sense that the developers of the company probably they know the most about it, and then just again, people are trying out, but it's still very early phase. But again, I think the concept itself is really interesting. So this is why I think just worth having a look at, and then if you like it, maybe you can keep an eye on the project, because maybe it will get like bigger attention. And as always with like new tools, and especially with interesting tools, the earlier you get in, probably the better. Maybe just a story on it. Again, I mentioned that I've been working with Kubernetes like for 6 years. So like 6 years ago, it was also kind of like, well, early-ish, a lot of the stuff was in beta, not like available. And I do remember that it was quite easy to just like install it. Let's say with there's a tool called kubeadm, and basically what you had to do is just install Docker, which is like one command, and then let's say download kubeadm and say kubeadm in it, and then it worked. And these days when I teach courses, actually I do a lot of like Kubernetes based courses, that teach people how to use it. It became so complicated, like
the installation part.
I think because you have to understand a lot of things of like like what is the difference now between Docker and containerd. Like that's a big leap, and like with the systemd stuff, like how do you configure. And then also with the, some of the CNI, like the networking is also a big problem. Like how do you install it? And then, they instantly become some sort of operator. And then, like the first thing you do is like, I don't know, you install Calico, and then you have to use a like a custom resource to, set it up. Again, that's a deep dive into it. So everything is just, at least this is how I saw, became a little bit more complicated. And then, me who again started early enough, I do understand this concept, but I
Mm-hmm.
can see that someone coming with zero knowledge to this world,
Uh-huh.
maybe heard about Docker, maybe did some Docker files, but that's it. It's just a 2 bit leap sometimes. That,
Yeah, yeah,
oh, I just need to tweak with this, like container, this setup
It's
to work.
I think there is no such thing as a junior DevOps engineer. It's
Yeah.
like it's impossible to be junior in this field. That's just my recent thought. All right, but I think I throw your screen on into the stream,
All right.
and yeah, so you have it on online, and yeah, I just see some boxes, some CAD like
Cool.
something, and
Yeah.
you
That
could
is,
yeah, go ahead.
again, that's so we're gonna do is just the easy demo. So you can do this self-paced because it's on their website, and it's a pretty detailed demo. So hopefully it will work. Although today when I retried the demo, I had some problems with the speed.
Okay.
Probably my small like business laptop just blew up from from the whole system. But hopefully this will work out fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, this so like seeing this,
Mm.
we will see UIs like this. So this is one of the fundamental differences.
Yes.
I guess that they introduced here is that people say that when I talk about infrastructure as code, what it usually is well, it's either code itself. Again, those early tools like Chef, Puppet, and Puppet and Chef, and maybe CF Engine was also in Ruby, right? So you had to write actual code.
Yeah,
and then YAML became a thing, so that everything now is YAML file, or if you use Terraform, it's HashiCorp configuration language, which is very similar to YAML. And I think maybe you can also like use YAML files to define that nowadays. But what it is like text, and when we talk about like big infrastructures, that it's probably not just one person to working on it.
Yep.
And then maybe text is not the best interface to interact and work as a team. So that's one of the fundamental ideas. So if you have like a graphical interface that you see these components, this relationship, that will probably help you, and also help others to understand this. Because I don't know if you had this, but when you jump into like see I don't know, like a giant Terraform file, and you try to understand what is going on. One that you not wrote, right? Or
yes, or the one I wrote as well. Sometimes I have no idea.
A long time
and,
ago, right?
and it's actually quite interesting, because when you look at like game engines and other like simulation stuff, it has a very similar UI. It has boxes and relationships between them, and you just throw stuff on the screen, and it just works.
Yeah.
So do you have an idea what we can achieve today after reading the tutorial?
Well, it's just this: have an idea of how this tool works, how much different this concept is than to regular infrastructure as code stuff.
Okay.
And then hopefully, if you like the tool, again, the maximum at least that you can do is just keep an eye on it. Maybe join their Discord, as we did actually. And and maybe as it starts to develop, then you might be able to use it as well.
But do you think we could have like a Kubernetes cluster up and running and something? No?
It's just,
okay.
So it also has some like I think I'm not like too familiar with the terminology at this point, but like basically resources that you can just start, or I think here it's called assets, but it's probably the same if you use Terraform. Resources, in Kubernetes term, it's an object.
Yep.
Right. Currently, it only supports like just a couple of them, like EC2 instances and Docker images.
EC2.
And
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think there is no way to launch an actual Kubernetes cluster because they have to code it into the program.
Of course.
So again, it's still early, and at this point I think it only supports Amazon as well. So obviously in the future, if you see their developer that they want to use, they want to have integration with every cloud providers, because
gotcha.
That's how it is. But again, currently it's quite early.
All right, so it's gonna be AWS, it's gonna be an EC2 instance and a Docker container on it.
It's just this very similar setup.
Let's do this, man.
But as we go on, I would be very interested in your opinion. because I know you're also a big Kubernetes guy, of like, well, running a Kubernetes cluster in AWS, that's one thing, because that's just also should be in this concept just a box like this where you set a couple of parameters. But then what you run inside that Kubernetes, that would be interesting, on how you can represent in this graphical format, and how do you set it up.
I just hope they stay on the infrastructure side of things, and no, I have no idea. I mean, let's start it up and throw the boxes on the screen. And
so let me maybe also took it. I just go to systeminit.com and then just hit install. Obviously, you have to register first. There is just one side, so but here is a standard install page, and as everything cloud related, you have this kind of like install stuff that just grab something from the internet and throw it to bash.
What can go wrong, right?
Probably uses a lot of like sudo stuff. So oh, sorry, it's a different keyboard, so use okay. But basically what it is, it is there. It goes to GitHub, grabs the latest release, because right now, again, it's so early that again they do not have, I think, some stuff like minor major version stuff. It's just like
it just dates and
and stuff. So that's it. Again,
SI and then it starts, or
let me go back and see. So now we have the binary. And I should have looked it up. Look this up. As far as I remember, this tool is written in Rust.
I think so. Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the I think interesting thing. But maybe that's because it's a system component and resources will be very important. Then hence the Rust. So now I have, but again, this is just a single binary that. It's here. So so at this point we have, and now we have, we just let's see what this does. But maybe if I go to tutorial, just start to go back. I have to start it with SI start, and what it will do is actually running the components. You can see them, what is running. Okay. Inside Docker. So I'm running again in VSL. So maybe that's this is why I get this error. Let me see if I can fix this.
Okay.
Very, very quickly. Maybe I try to just delete everything that I had before. So we help see whether it just stop.
Okay, so it's like previously running components.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Classic.
We try to clean up this mess that I caused, but you can see it's a lot of like internal tool that will help you do this. So, and again, this is kind of like should be like a heavy software. You can see Jaeger running. You can see there's a Postgres backend. There is
wow.
a message queue, right? That's
but this is primarily a desktop application, isn't it?
But how will it work is that it will launch a web server. Let me just see.
Okay. Yeah. Do the work as well, not just entertain me.
Yeah. Hopefully my credentials won't.
Yeah. If that happens, we're gonna get your screen off the stream, and then you can fix it. And
all right. So now we're downloading the component and then again running it.
Okay.
So you can see these are all the containers that will be run with the main backend, and then again we will have a web UI that you can use for the configuration.
It's funny actually. The moment you started downloading
your everything, hopefully this will start quote unquote quickly.
Okay. It's funny because the moment you
I can also tell a couple of things that how is this tool is different from the regular infrastructure as code tools. So the other interesting thing that I've heard, that there's actually on YouTube a good video with the creator of or the founder of System Initiative. Sorry, can you still see my screen? Because
I see your screen, but it's
still hear me good?
It's downloading components right now, and your voice is breaking up a little. So we could just stay quiet until it's done. Okay. But it's no biggie. It's just I don't know how to make preferred network traffic to one software and not the other, or something like that. But I have to distribute some links anyway. So
okay, fine. So it's also running inside VSL. So
okay,
I will have no idea how to do that. But hopefully this will happen. Maybe sometimes I saw this that it's just too much download, so sometimes I have to just restart this. So sometimes it's stuck, but let me see if I can. I found 3 missing containers still. It's just too much download from Docker Hub. Let me see in the meantime. Yeah. So also, I think you can see that because I've already started this application once, so my credential to AWS is set up in this file.
Okay.
Otherwise, if that would be the first time, okay, that you start System Initiative, it would ask for your Amazon login and just an API key and also your Docker Docker Hub credentials.
Okay.
Just so that let me see that. Why is this? Oh, is this because of my? Let's see. So I have a Docker desktop. That's maybe. Maybe I should have, because it's something that it's not working. Maybe I should restart my Docker desktop if I can. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Let me restart this quickly.
Okay.
Just to restart. Okay. Oops. And I will see what happens. But again, in the meantime, I can tell you a couple of ideas of I think which is also key in this to understand why this approach is again different. So again, one of the main things is that text and therefore infrastructure as code, this might not be the best collaboration tool that as a team you can use, and maybe these kind of graphical things is just can have a good representation, although everything that we will see on the screen will have also a code representation, which is, I think it's written on TypeScript. Okay. So you can still choose to because it's obviously it's also easier sometimes to sometimes easier to share code between people, and then obviously you should have some sort of model representation. But whatever CAD software you're using, it has some sort of very bad, usually XML stuff at the background. Here it's actually probably TypeScript. So you can again still choose to do it in the code way, and sometimes it's easier. Let me see why it's not starting properly. Hopefully I don't have to. Yeah, there will be a point where I will ask you to. Let let me just stop Docker completely. It's always happening with live demos, right?
That's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
we have like an hour more, so we have time
Okay.
both, and it's just how it is. So if Docker doesn't start, that happens, and it's also part
Yeah.
of the tool. It's
Exactly.
but you were saying that basically, like all the Terraform modules or resources that we have for all the cloud providers, they will have something similar written in TypeScript, right?
Yes,
Or
yes, I think so.
uh
And also some, like the relationship that you can have between them. So
all
we're
right.
gonna see very similar things that when in Terraform, there is a parameter of an input, which is just dependent on another parameter of another resource, right? So like,
Right.
well, in for instance, Azure is one of the, the easiest example is the ID of the resource group that you create a resource group and then basically just refer that ID, resource group ID, to everywhere
Yep.
that you create. So that's one of the interesting part. And then the other thing is that, and this one I really like, and I don't know if you work in the IoT context, meaning that in a usual IoT system, what you have is like, I think they call it like a digital twin. So you have a device that works in a way, and it's configured in one way, but you have a digital twin usually in the cloud or in your system that also has its configuration, and then every setup of it written, well, in a code, usually JSON or whatever. And the two might be different, right? So that's one of and then you have a way to synchronize the two. So that was one of the core idea that I think it's also in System Initiative, is that when you have an infrastructure as code tool like Terraform, so how do you know that what's in your Git repository is, like, is it the same as the live state? So that's that's a fundamental question. So that is running, or like it could happen that something different is actually, because someone pushed a couple of buttons in the in the AWS console, or did some funky thing.
Yeah. So what's going on with Docker?
I don't know. Maybe I should let me try to clear my whole VSL and then do a complete VSL restart. If I know how to do this, interesting. And as an administrator, I have to run this. Yes. Let me share this. I think what I just have to use that VSL shutdown, I think. And then hopefully I can run it again.
Yeah, worst case, I can share my screen and.
Okay. Yeah.
but we will give it 5 more minutes, and if it's showing some sign of life, then we stick with it.
Yeah. So I try to again quit my Docker desktop just so that it stops. Oops. And then we see. So the other just to finish this talk. So again, with this kind of tools, in probably these are the agentless tools, right? Like Terraform or Ansible. You have no way to actually know that what you have written in code and it's in your Git repositories is the same that what you have on a live state. Some of the concepts, like for instance, Kubernetes has this approach that's but that's also a little bit different. That you have the spec, which is the desired state, and you have the status, which is the current state, and then you can see that whether there is a difference with it. And then if you're good enough in Kubernetes, you can tell that there is a difference between the two states. right?
Mm-hmm.
But and then one of the key idea is that here is that, so this is why I don't know how you can call it, but system initiative is a so-called active tool. So if you have a representation of your infrastructure, that's what you want to achieve. But again, maybe it's not what it's actually in the live state. So it will tell you if the two differs, like with like some coloring and stuff. And the other key thing, which is probably I don't know if you use Argo CD. What you can do in some tool, especially in our Argo CD in the Kubernetes, is that you can force the state in your Git repository. So like making just like overwrite everything, you don't care. But what you cannot do is if you made a change in your live state, is to synchronize that live state back to your model representation, right?
Okay.
And here you can do that. And also the reasoning is that sometimes when you have this pure infrastructure as code stuff and you need to fix something quickly, it's not the quickest way to just go to Git, modify something, commit back, push it up, wait for the CI pipeline, to propagate the change or whatever else you do, because it's just it's very slow. And also, you might not be able to find these kind of like settings directly. And to me, it happens quite often in the Kubernetes world that, I've heard that, okay, something is going bad in the client side. I just go kubectl audit, and I know, what's
and
that's and then I go to Git and change it, right? Like here, at least theoretically, you will be able to do that. Like see that your model is different from the live state, and then decide not to synchronize the model to the live state, but the way back. So, which is I think it's very, very, very interesting. So let me see that whether my Docker works. So now my Docker is stopped. If I restart the Docker, now it will work. And then let me go back to my Ubuntu shell. Hopefully it will start.
Crossing fingers.
Yeah.
If not, I have a terminal cleaned. I also have an AWS key on an account that I haven't used for more than 2 years, so I have no idea what's going to happen, but we can try.
All right. Maybe I can send you mine.
Yeah, you can send your key to everyone.
Yeah.
Here's an Amazon key for you. Okay. Green stuff.
That green is sign. PS. Let's see what is going on. That's also clean. So let's see if I can do this launch. Okay, that's also a good sign. I just need to download these 3 other containers.
All right.
One is downloaded, just these 2 other. Okay. And then one more to go. Let's see in the meantime. Yeah. So again, I think it's very, very, very interesting, because if you go to this tutorial, you have to again sign in. So this is on the page of system initiative, but it will direct you to your local host workspace. So and I think the synchronization happening in this in their side. So this is how you will be able to collaborate with each other. So
how big are these images?
Let's see them. I mean, Yeah. So this one is like 200 meg. This is Postgre, right? Why can't I see more of this? Let me just enlarge this. Yeah, this is Nets. Nets is the go-to, so it's small. Yeah.
All right, so like a gig altogether.
Yeah. Okay, and then this is I don't know why it keeps happening that maybe it's also my Docker setup that it's not the best in this VSL environment. It's just
system init veritech. Let me check the image size.
Is it the latest actually? Can I do this by hand? What the hell? But yeah, I think I have some sort of like weird Docker problem. All containers are successfully downloaded.
Okay. And then an internal server error as well.
Yeah.
Above that. Okay, let's do a final try. If it doesn't work, then let me tempt the demo gods.
All right. Like it's working. So it seems that it's actually just a problem between my like VSL and this Docker VSL. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, because you can see that it's not.
Yeah, it's dead. Let me give it a try, and you will guide me where you have the knowledge and stuff like that. Is it okay?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sorry about this then.
No. Share screen, entire screen, and all right. Let me know if you see the screen or not.
Yeah. I can.
Good. And let me close this guy. And so I signed up like a couple of days ago. That's the only thing I did, and then this shell. It's the downloading part. I guess it's done. And version something version, and then the start.
Yeah, exactly. So that will download just a lot of. Yeah, and here's the part you have to.
Let me just take my screen off the stream, and then hold on, and then I have a code prepared somewhere, which has like a global administrator.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
All right. Docker Hub username. Let me do that.
Yeah. And your Docker Hub password.
All right. Docker.com, I guess. Username. Oh, and then password. Copy. Email used to log in.
Oh, yeah.
I actually don't know. I mean, I used my GitHub, so is that this one? Oh, and here comes the part where I break.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
I will do like a dance in the meantime.
You have a faster internet. I can see you're closer to Docker Hub than I am.
Yeah.
Maybe. But you have a desktop, right?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a business laptop. The one thing I forgot to mention, when I was introducing myself, is that now I am leading a small group of like cloud engineers, let's say, and being the leader means that unfortunately I spend very few time with this kind of projects, and I spend, I should say, too much time with Excel sheets and
I am very sorry to hear that.
and PowerPoints, but yeah, but that's just my story.
Don't worry. There is this great article where they, tell you that you do like individual contributor stuff. You become whatever senior staff, whatever engineer, and then you go a little bit management stuff, and then you realize that you want to do individual again, and then you management again,
Yeah.
and you just go back and forth. Yeah. Now it's running migrations. I feel like I'm running a huge backend application.
Yeah, that's probably where they populate the Postgres stuff, right? At least I assume from my like previous knowledge.
Yeah, but if it's Rust, I would imagine that everything is just snappy and it starts up, and there we are, I guess.
Yeah, that's the assumption, but reality might be different.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will finish in a minute. Okay. I mean, in the meantime, I'm still trying to make my Docker work.
That's okay. People took out their dogs for a walk anyways, and finished their dinner and stuff. And so I'm new to this streaming world, and other streams have music underneath, and they have a very relaxing voice.
That's a nice idea, like when you phone in a call center and they put on some classical music stuff, but that is like frequency bounded in the old telephone system. That's
okay.
I would say something like this would be pleasant.
Now this is a bit slow to my taste, for my taste. Okay. And there's an animation here which spins very slowly. Let me see what it's doing. Yeah, some CPU.
We have a lot of resources, at least.
Doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa, wait, something happened.
All right, cool.
Front end online, back end. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah. And then again, you get directed to systeminit.com. You just have to click on the middle, right?
Hold on. I have two open. I should close the first one, right?
No, that's
I closed the first one. That was installation. That's done,
Yeah.
And now we are in tutorial. Continue.
Yeah.
Or should I start?
No. It's
as you start or something.
No, I think it's okay. The launch is like building the environment up. You can stop and then restart the stuff. So what first you have to do is see that blue box of like Laszlo's dev. Yeah, if you click on that, you get redirected to that local system that you started. Hopefully it will work, but please want to go. Okay. That's something because here we should see that like the cat-like interface.
Yes.
That is there.
Let me click it again. Oh, okay. Hooray! Better. So hold on. I'd like to explore this as a first timer, and I will ask questions from you, and then you can say, okay.
But again, I'm no expert at this point. It's just
no, it's okay.
Again, I really feel that that just showing this, I think because it's just the approach is so different. Then
so here is region AMI EC2.
So there are 4 or actually 5 boxes here. You can see, well, in the middle there would be your like cat space where you just put your, well, if we call I think assets, where you're just scrolling now, so you can grab those boxes and then if you want to run something in Amazon, you just like grab it and then put it on the screen, right?
We need a region.
Yeah, exactly. So
which
and
is
then you should see here and there, yeah, it's a little bit small, but on that selected asset, when you click on a box, like when after that you will have multiple boxes. So these are sort of like the like the input fields, the variables or parameters you can give it to this kind of box. So in the region, you have to select the region, right? So I think
yeah. Let's stick to
yeah, here.
some
Yeah, no, 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 no,
GDPR.
no, 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 no. That's I
What?
think what you should select is US East too, is it?
All right. So be nice with the makers, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
US East one.
No, I think East too, maybe. Well,
It's selected, man. We are in US East one.
hopefully it's work. So that's
Oh,
that's that's again a cool thing.
what's this?
And then no, I think it will show you if this is just a region. So like again. Oh, wait! Don't push that button. So how this works is that again on the top left, you see that we are in your workspace. Again, if we
Uh,
link our accounts, we can see each other workspace and
oh,
share or
okay,
create a
okay.
shared workspace. And then
Uh-huh.
you see a so-called change set. So next to it. So you are in demo one
Oh, I
stuff.
see. Okay. So, these are branches and pull requests.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just some sort of like lightweight version of this Git terminology with
Uh-huh.
branches and main branches stuff. So we will do a couple of things, and then when we do when you will click that green button, apply changes,
Okay.
then it will do the actual like environment installation in Amazon. So yes, this is it. So again, the region is just like some sort of like logical container, so it will not do anything again inside
Uh-huh.
Amazon. But what it is good for is that you can grab that resource like the EC2 instance and then put it into the box, right? So now that you will know that that instance will run in that region.
Yes.
I'm not sure how do you call that relationship, because that's also just some sort of like input parameter of the instance, but maybe it's a nice way to represent this way that you
I
have one.
I have a question. So this is
Okay.
inside the region. I
Yeah.
suppose it is already set the region somewhere.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's up there.
Okay.
Okay. And then I need to provide an image ID. It's an
Yeah.
AMI, I suppose, or
Exactly.
so I should pull this in.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
And then you can now. So here's the thing: you have two different resources, right? Well, that's the Terraform terminology, I guess. And then what they do is that one, we have the image ID, which should be the same. So they have this kind of like relationship that
okay.
they share this parameter. So whenever you will set that AMI image ID, this will actually set also the image ID of the EC2 instance, right? And then at the end, we should see that there are these common parameters that like you change in one place and it just propagate through all the environment that you created. So,
Gotcha.
but again, that's kind of like using variables or parameters, in this context.
Another question. So I'd like to install an Ubuntu or a Debian image. Where do I set it? Inside the AMI somewhere?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you have to look at the AMI image ID of that. That's maybe not the
No.
easiest interface.
So hold on. I spent 5 minutes on the website, and the first thing, like Adam Jacob said, is that you don't have to look up anything anymore because that's breaking your flow. So we gather all the stuff for you, and you can just click.
I think what it is just again, this is kind of like an early phase project. So as they develop, just as you could select the size of the EC2 instance, so there was like a drop down menu, right?
Yes.
I think at the end it should be the same. So like just
all right. So
but if you go back to the tutorial.
Right.
I think, and here if you search like just with Control F, search for image ID, you should find what what to put there. It's maybe not the easiest, like
Yeah. So,
that would be actually a CoreOS instance.
but we discussed, I think, prior to the stream that we have no idea about CoreOS, so I want an Ubuntu.
I actually have, at this point.
You have, okay.
Okay, so yeah, you can put it here.
I, okay. And it was US East.
Yeah, so this is also a little bit confusing because you can see that the same image has different IDs based on the region. So
Yeah.
this is a very old version.
This is a very old version, yes.
Is there anything? Oh, okay. That I think at the bottom you can filter it. So
okay,
US East one you selected.
Yes, and
probably
then we're
some
gonna
sort of
go.
like 20. Yeah, that.
I actually enjoy this pretty much because recently I asked people to test my software, and
Okay.
and I hate stupid users who just click before reading, and I enjoy just clicking before reading. So it's like, so
But I
Jammy
think
Jellyfish.
that's also some sort of like a knowledge bias that you assume that just based on your previous experiences, where to click and what.
Yes.
So now if you put that hopefully into that box, so you can see that now the model is updating, and then the red X should go to a green. What is that?
Check mark.
Checks okay sign.
Yeah.
Well, if this is a valid image ID, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and if you click on the diagram, so on the top left, I think, so if there you click the red X, it should tell you what is the problem. What is that? Show details. So it kind of got
something
error.
went wrong.
But probably this is it. Like it tried to query the.
It doesn't exist, maybe. So how about I go to EC2?
Can you find it here?
Yeah. And then I go instances, then launch, and somewhere there's an AMI thing.
But
yeah, I will just use this image. It was the first that
but are you in the correct? Okay, it's US East one. Okay. I saw that. Yeah, let's try that one and see.
Let's try again. Boom.
Hopefully, it's not because you used the wrong AWS key.
So compared to Terraform, this is doing these checks earlier, because if an AMI doesn't work or doesn't exist, that's quite late when you learn about that. I guess that's value here.
Exactly. So it's still something wrong with it.
Exit code 2.
Well, I don't think you can find that. That is just too generic, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm wondering.
So this is the AWS CLI command, right?
Yeah.
So how about I try to run this locally?
Okay, let's try that.
So I have a confession to make. I haven't used AWS for more than 2 years, so I doubt this works. Maybe.
That's fine.
This is.
Yeah, you should use some
quotes somewhere, like single quotes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Maybe I delete this input first and steal something with. This is the query, so I should put these into quotes.
Yeah.
And this will probably time out or have an access problem.
Yeah, maybe if you use the same AWS key, then.
Yeah.
Can we try with the same input that is on the
The same input as it was inside the this one?
the tutorial, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Let's go back to the tutorial.
Yeah.
To the top. So
first it starts with I think a Docker image,
mm-hmm.
and then we will see like what happens, because I could make this work, but again I also see that because these image IDs are different from region to region. I honestly cannot explain why is that. Like, what is the reasoning that this happened? So, but this should be the idea. So let's go ahead and maybe create just a Docker image first.
I want to stick to the EC2 instance for now.
Okay.
because if that starts up and I'm able to SSH to it, I'm convinced that this stuff works. So
let's see what else it needs. Okay, can we go back?
I'm sorry, I'm searching for the AMI and the image ID and stuff like that.
Oh, you were there before, so I think it's just Control F and
this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then,
but again, I think you also need to change the
region.
Yeah.
Can you recall what was the region?
It's US East 2.
Okay.
I think. So again, now it updates them all. Hopefully that works. If it's not, I may have a problem with the. But let's see. Yeah, I think you have the same.
Yes, it's probably an access error or something.
Yeah. Should I really send you the? Let me see if I can. Okay, it's still shared on my screen. Let me just.
It is not on the stream.
Okay. Let me try and well, I will send you my access. It should work because I tried on.
Okay.
And then I will delete this. But
all right.
So it should be this. Yeah, and then you have to put this to this file.
All right. And you are sending me the file name as well?
Yeah. It's in local share.
Okay.
SI.
Hold on.
But I think you have to stop your environment and maybe relaunch it.
That's okay. Wow. This file was empty for me.
Really? Interesting.
It would be nice if there would be a connection status inside system initiative. It's because
So maybe just
hold on, I'm like starting the installation again. Okay. We already lost people, so never mind. I see start. I see launch. And workspace. Again, this restoring auth. All right. So I'm adding back my screen because I have no idea where I can update the credentials or
Yeah,
check.
can you just go back to your terminal and then we'll
Yes.
just like. So you see that, yeah. So well, don't.
This one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I will
but
remove my screen and then open this
but
place.
that
Okay.
file
So
is empty for
no.
you.
This file is not empty. This file has things inside, and then I will use the keys you shared with me.
Yeah.
Haha. I think I know what's the problem.
Yeah.
I think I provided the access key as the secret. That's a
Okay.
funny one.
But again, you can use mine. So.
No, I have mine still. All right, so I add back my screen, and I want to restart this thing. Do you have a clue how to do it?
Yeah, I think you just have to like. No. I think you should restart the backend hopefully. So like,
And how do I
what you
do
can do
that?
is just do the SI stop and then delete and then launch again.
Okay.
That's my how should I say education guess. So like SI stop.
Yes.
It will just, but maybe just stop and start would.
Okay. In the meantime, you can revoke your AWS key because it was on my screen for the moment.
Okay.
As I stop and then as I delete or start?
Yeah, I think you can just, let's say whether works at start.
All right.
Okay.
All right, and then back here. And now I'm gonna do an enter here, like 8. Oh, no, come on. You deleted everything. Yeah, enter again.
Okay, now it's
image not found.
But now it's image not found. So maybe now you can do the Ubuntu stuff.
All right, I can try that. So we are in US East 2.
Or maybe let me in the meantime search for this.
Oh, come on, look at this. So
yeah.
I changed region to US East 2.
Yeah.
I click AMI and scroll down here and this US East 1. Like, why didn't this update?
Maybe I will. Yeah, again, that's probably the kind of like the, I don't know, like very early nature of the project.
Yeah, of course, I get that. Just
okay, but now you have the green sign. Okay, very good.
After 1 hour, the first success.
So which is great. So now all we need is just a key pair, and
just a key pair.
Yeah,
oh my god. So if I add the key pair, where do you see that? Is it because it's white? That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So this is how we know that that parameter is not set currently.
I see.
And then also you can see that in the EC2 instance there is the red X that it's not configured anymore, or so it's not ready to be deployed because there are some. So I think that will just generate you a key pair. So that's not a.
Yeah, let's do that. And hey, man, I'm in US East 2. Should I just make a reference, or why doesn't it pick it up? This one is US East 2.
Oh, maybe because you just changed the name. Yeah,
I changed the name.
that's a confusing thing. So if you scroll down, you can see that. Okay,
Okay.
but that was also a good indication that like. But now you should, I think, see that everything is updated to USS2, because again of this kind of like the propagation of the of this kind of like common parameters.
So this
Okay,
was
cool.
like a string replace basically in like
Yeah.
a small project. All right, so it's gonna be a ed whatever key,
Yeah,
not
and then
whatever
you can
tag.
just link the two together.
Nice. And then it needs a
Oh, it's
security
actually
key.
now it's yeah. Now it
And
actually
then
became already green, so the EC2 instance. So theoretically,
yeah, I want to do it. How
yeah,
do I
I mean,
delete this?
it's just hit the delete button, I think. but wait for the update. I think
Okay.
we shouldn't just overrun the system.
Click delete.
So let me see if I can log into my Amazon account. Let's see, it's time.
It needs a button to organize my boxes nicely and never have crossing arrows or crossing lines. But just shout when you are ready for me to click the apply changes button.
I think you can do that now, and then we will see what happens.
Oh, look. So when I push apply, it's going to create a key pair and then delete a key pair and then refresh a key pair. And with this one, it's going to create, delete, and refresh. I have no clue why it's going to delete.
Yeah, I also don't know why. Maybe because of the changing of the region or something.
Yeah.
But root user. Let me see if I can. Oh my lord. This time in the Amazon console, so that's good news.
All right, shout if I can push the button.
No, go ahead. I should see in the instances, right?
So no, hold on. So I am using my own keys. I am using my own keys.
Oh, okay.
And you can actually revoke the key because it was on screen.
All right,
for.
Yeah. Thanks. That's what I will do then.
Yep. And there was some nice heart emojis flying. And now it's actually not bad. I like it so far when it works. EC2 dash instances refresh.
Okay, I think because so it also has some sort of like like built-in dependency. So it knows that first it has to create the key pair because that needs to exist before it launches the EC2 instance. So I'm not sure how that hard-coded, because again, if I refer back to Terraform, you kind of have that depends on key, that you can define this kind of ordering for yourself.
And also in Terraform, if you were referring a resource output, just based on inputs and outputs, it could build a tree, like what to apply first and so on. And refresh again, and still no instance. And I have a key pair, so I could theoretically get it from somewhere. Yeah, this is...
I think it's still finishing the action. Yeah, okay.
This is the private one. I'm not sure it in full. And it's green.
Okay, the model is up to date. So I think you should see the instance. But it's in USDs too. Is it? Are you correct?
Yes. Okay.
Here it is, SI 3299.
Is there like a cloud shell to these instances? Or I'm not sure. I could SSH to it, of course, but And why does it? Yeah, because we are using their EMI, so it's Fedora. So even if I log in,
Oh,
I would
yeah,
be doomed.
yeah, exactly. So maybe not the best thing to run.
You know what? I'm gonna be nasty. I'm gonna change the EMI.
To the Ubuntu one.
Oh yes.
So I guess so here's the thing. So again, referring to my Terraform knowledge,
Yep.
so that like changing the image, like the EMI ID, so like basically the operating system, that field should be quote unquote immutable. Like you just cannot
Yes.
like. Yeah.
So
So what theoretically should happen, I think, is that it should delete the instance and
yep.
then recreate a new one with
Yep.
the new image.
But look at this. Can I
This
change?
attributes.
Yeah. I can actually
Yeah, here.
change it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let's find the
Go
Ubuntu
back to the
EMI.
Ubuntu page.
I can.
That was a good. Yeah, yeah. But again, you are now US East 2.
Okay. AMD EMI ID. Image ID. Enter. So it's updating the model. I guess it takes some time. Okay, I might have killed it. Are you with me, Peter? You are on mute, so yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
No worries. So it's been calculating
Yeah.
for some time, but I did a massive change.
Can you maybe hit that resource refresh button? Maybe that's something that it helps.
Maybe I can also like refresh the page. It's red. No, it's green. Resource. Okay, so I think the process finished. Just it wasn't shown on my screen.
Okay. So now it's testing the model. Okay. So again, that's another thing that I think that it's inside that you can run these so-called tests against your model. So it's also an additional feature. So, or maybe I'm just not in too deep to Terraform to know about this, but so, or at least the way I use it is just I write something, I try it out. If it's past
Yes.
I just try to figure out. But theoretically, here there is a framework you can attest to your environment, and then see that at least on the model side that again everything is correct. Should be ready. So let's see apply changes. Okay. Oh, that's popcorn.
Oh, what already? This was too fast.
Yeah. I'm
Instances, refresh. It's running.
So I think it's just
it ends with a 9.8, and this one EMI attributes. Yeah, this is not it. Come on, man. I mean, resources refresh. Hard refresh.
okay.
I don't believe it's right.
Yeah, because there's and what if you click on the EC2 instance? Can you because again, so what I learned about is that theoretically you should see that discrepancy between the your model and the live state, right? Because you change the image ID, but that instance have the old image ID. So
So I remember pushing the refresh button a couple of times and nothing happened, and then suddenly it kicked off this update. So I guess it realized that oh crap, I need to do something. Model is up to date, and where is my? It thinks it's applied. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna be drastic. I will delete this guy and delete the AMI and apply, and then just as a final test, I want to SSH to the node, and I'm gonna build an Ubuntu box, and that's it. What I want to do basically today.
Right. I will delete my.
Yeah. Do that.
Okay, so is this one like? Let me see what I sent you because I have. Okay, that's
the one that is starting the Bitcoin miners.
Yeah, it will be fun to already see some mining happening. People are fast, actions delete. Okay.
Finishing up actions.
Okay.
So the node is gone. It is still spinning. I will give it another minute and then it's up to date. Good. And what is this? Go away. I am already a bit frustrated by looking at this progress indicator.
Because it runs to.
I just want things to happen faster. Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh,
now
so
now it's gone. Okay.
It was like a UI artifact, and then again Ubuntu AMI ID. Sorry guys.
This would be a key page, I guess.
Yes, we got very good at this, finding AMIs for Ubuntu. That's the learning for today. Thank you, everyone. Okay, and then AMI. Okay. Image ID, region is fine.
Okay.
Good stuff. And then comes the instance.
And theoretically, you just link those two stuff, and then you should be good to go. Whoops.
All right. And apply.
Wait. I think you were a bit too quick. So the last model update did not happen yet.
I didn't click the apply changes just yet. So
okay.
Let's see what happens.
Like it's also not clickable right now, right? So I'm assuming it's need to finish the model update that is going on.
But it was for a brief period, I think.
And then I didn't notice that there was another change that it needs to update the model on. So now let's click it, and then again this should happen.
Okay. That's funny. So do you see yourself having like a huge model, lines going between boxes, and you just zoom in, zoom out?
I don't know. Again, I can refer back to How much Argo CD you use? I know you're a Flux guy, right?
I'm a Flux guy. I look at screenshots from Argo CD.
Okay. Because there is also an yeah, I guess an interesting side effect of Kubernetes that you create one resource and then that resource creates another like child resources, like a deployment creates replica set, the replica set creates pod, and then you can see the chain in Argo CD. And especially if you like do like a Helm install, and that's probably also a question that I want to pose you at the end, is that so you just type in, okay, Helm install this, and then suddenly you have like 52 objects in your Kubernetes.
Yes.
Right? So and then even then, just seeing that, although that's a sort of like tree, because one object spawning other objects.
Yep.
But if you I don't know, try to represent that kind of like relationship between them, that might have too much errors. So yeah, you're right. If you have too much boxes in here, you also have just basically too much stuff. But I guess one way that I don't know if they will solve this problem in this way, just like have this kind of like layers that you can just turn on and off, and maybe see the arrows, maybe turn off.
I am pretty sure they have ideas already how to solve like a large model problem. But it's actually very interesting what you said about the Helm install, is that you have no idea what will happen after it, what will be created. So it's sort of lacking a type system. And you mentioned that there is TypeScript underneath somewhere. Do you know how to bring that?
Oh forward? No, but can you go back to the tutorial and just let's see if we find somewhere. I know that there is somewhere. So like type. Oh, customizing system. Yeah, but you have to like continue stuff. But somewhere in the back, you should be able to get that. Okay.
This link? Copy link. That's something else. The customize, it's the lab icon, or like what's that? Select an asset to edit a region.
Oops.
All right. Okay.
Is this TypeScript?
This is, I suppose.
Okay.
If it becomes like very abstract and ugly, then it's TypeScript. And attributes.
All right, and then you can see that how the box, okay, the region box.
Yep.
It's written in TypeScript code. So because again, I think the concept is solid, but here comes the hard part, and I think that's what again, referring back to Terraform and the actual controversy that happening around not being completely open source or not open, changing license, I guess, is that there is so much contribution from the community, right?
Yep.
To those Terraform modules or libraries or whatever you call it. And then this is it. Like you have to go to, and then just that AWS just like one cloud provider.
Yes.
And then have the model of every single service that they can run, and also understanding the relationships, right? Because I don't know how that is coded here in TypeScript, but it would be very exciting to like how do you define it? Again, you have that EC2 instance, they had a keeper, and this is that keeper. So what kind of arrow is it? So so that will be interesting to see. The other thing is that I don't know if you see that. Oh, maybe you're working on like a similar tool of like clicking stuff on UI, and in the background you have probably YAML files. So that how do you find that sort of like easy abstraction in a UI that in the background there is a like a data definition that's I assume that how Amazon works is also like you have a service like an EC2 instance. That's that's the cloud formation, right?
Yep.
Probably that's that. So because at the end there will be those use cases that there is that 100 parameter in that cloud formation stuff, and I need to modify that. But here I think that there was a box in the code somewhere that you can actually see some like raw representation
Yep.
of your resource, and actually, like, so the most obvious one is on the UI, but then you can switch to the actual code representation. So that's also kind of like the interesting. So, finding the sweet spot that, what you can define and how you can, but like, basically use every parameter that it's, can be defined.
Yes.
But
all right. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
And my last question is because that would be exciting to see. So I think so. When you have like I should see like a Kubernetes cluster as a box, like a region, and you just drag and drop a Helm chart into it, and then just see the values and then just defining them. That would be, I think, exciting stuff to see. But probably
it's probably a bit down the line, but I think with this TypeScript model behind it, and I saw like a props builder class, you could define all the props each like an AMI has, and probably there's another way how you define your outputs and the inputs, and it matches up nicely, and there are some good foundations here. So so it works quite well for a new tool. We had some issues, which was large part was us, but there were some also like flickering on the UI and stuff. But I guess that's early days. But it's not bad. I have no clue whether I will use it or something. But yeah, I liked it, enjoyed it. But the last part.
Definitely, I think an interesting concept to look at it, of like how some people with a lot of experience in this field, to be honest, imagine this working again in a very, very different way. So like not pull requests and and CI pipelines and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, somewhere those workflows have to come into this as well. So yeah. All right, Peter. I think it's been a good hour and a half. Yeah, but it was also like a first, and yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for coming on online this evening,
and hopefully people watching this will also enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right, and we might do a cut where we're gonna show the useful things, but it was very good, and I'm really interested to see this project progressing. So yeah, let's keep chatting about it.
All right. Okay.
All right. See you, Peter, and have a good evening. And
yeah,
good to see you too. Goodbye. See ya.
Bye.